I still remember the weight of the small velvet box in my pocket that night. 20 years of marriage deserved something special, so I had secretly bought land in Soda's name. The restaurant was perfect, candles flickering on our table. I reached for the box, ready to surprise my wife with the keys and documents. Before I could speak, the door burst open. Mama Sod stormed in, her wrapper flying behind her, face twisted with rage. "Thief," she screamed, pointing at me. Every head in the restaurant turned. My hand froze. This man has been stealing my daughter's money for years. Sod didn't defend me. Instead, she slid an envelope across the table. Divorce papers. My heart stopped. "Sod, what is this?" I whispered. She wouldn't meet my eyes. "It's over, Tunde. I know everything you've done." The other diners stared. Some whispered. I looked between my wife and her mother, confused and hurt. Mama Sod spat on the floor near my feet. "We want nothing to do with you again, you useless man." They walked out together, leaving me sitting alone with an unopened gift and a shattered heart. I drove home in a daze, trying to understand what had just happened. When I reached our compound, my clothes were scattered outside the gate. Shirts, trousers, even my work shoes, thrown carelessly on the dusty ground. Neighbors stood watching, some shaking their heads. I knocked on the door. "Sod, please. Let us talk about this." The door remained locked. Mama Soda's voice came from inside. "You have evidence. Show us. You siphoned her savings, we have proof." "What proof? What are you talking about?" I shouted back, frustration rising. My phone buzzed. Messages from Soda's siblings cursed me, called me a thief and a disgrace. I tried calling our children. My eldest son, Teo, my daughter Kemi, our youngest boy Femi. None of them answered. A voice note came through from Teo. "Dad, how could you? After everything Mom did for you. Don't call me again." I sat down beside my own gate, surrounded by my scattered belongings, trying to make sense of a nightmare that had appeared from nowhere. My marriage, my family, my reputation, all destroyed in one evening. For 3 days, I stayed with my younger brother Connor in his small flat. The messages kept coming. Soda's family members I had helped over the years now cursed my name. Her younger sister, who I paid school fees for, called me a snake. Community members I had known for decades began avoiding my calls. Only Connor believed me. "Brother, something is not right here," he said one evening as we sat on his balcony. "Sod loved you. I saw it. People don't just change overnight." I thought about our 20 years together. The struggles we survived, the children we raised, the dreams we built. What happened? "Someone poisoned her mind," Connor continued. "Think carefully. When did things start changing?" I remembered. 6 months ago, Sod reconnected with Mama Sod after years of limited contact. Her mother had abandoned them when Sod was young, only returning when she heard we were doing well. Suddenly, Mama Sod was visiting every week, whispering to Sod behind closed doors. "Brother," Connor said quietly, "someone set you up. And I think I know who." Connor started asking questions around the community. He learned that Mama Sod had been telling people I was hiding money, that I controlled everything Sod earned as a teacher. None of it was true. We had separate accounts. I never touched her salary. Then Connor discovered something interesting. 2 weeks before the anniversary dinner, Sod received a bank statement by courier. She showed it to her mother first, not to me. The statement allegedly showed large withdrawals from her account, withdrawals she didn't make. I knew immediately something was wrong. I had never accessed Soda's account. I didn't even know her PIN. "Tunde, this smells like fraud," Connor said. "That statement might be fake. But how could we prove it?" I needed help from someone who understood banking. I remembered my old friend Biodon, who worked at the bank's headquarters. I called him carefully, explaining everything. "Tunde, bring me the account details," he said. If something was forged, there would be traces. As I gathered the information, another thought struck me. Why now? Why attack me so viciously? Then the answer came. Mama Sod wanted something. And I knew exactly what it was. Biodon examined the details I gave him. This would take a few days, he warned. But if the statement was altered, we'll know. Meanwhile, I learned from neighbors that Mama Sod was pressuring Sod to move faster with the divorce. Don't let him sweet-talk you, she kept saying. Collect everything he has before he hides it. Our house was the target. The 3-bedroom house I built from nothing, working double shifts as a site engineer, saving every naira. Mama Sod had been eyeing it for months. I remembered her words at a family gathering. Sod, you deserve this house. You're the one who suffered. But the house was in my name. To get it, they needed to destroy me first, make me look like a criminal who didn't deserve anything. This wasn't about stolen money. This was about greed. Biodon called me one evening. Tunde, I found something. The statement format is wrong. Some details don't match our system. Someone definitely altered this document. My hands shook as I held the phone. Can you give me an official report? Yes, but it will take time through proper channels. Don't worry, brother. The truth will come out. A mutual friend, Sister Bimp, visited Connell's flat one evening. She looked worried. Baba Tunde, I need to tell you something, she started. Mama Sod is in serious debt. Her provision shop collapsed. She borrowed money from many people, including some dangerous creditors. Everything suddenly made sense. Mama Sod wasn't just greedy. She was desperate. She's been telling people that Sod must collect her share while you're still weak, Sister Bimp continued. She wants Sod to sell your house and give her half the money. I felt anger rising but forced myself to stay calm. Losing my temper would only prove them right. Thank you for telling me, I said quietly. That night, I couldn't sleep. I thought about Sod, the woman I loved for 2 decades. How could she believe such lies? How could she throw away our marriage without even asking me first? But I realized something important. Fighting with emotions would destroy me. I needed to be smarter than them. I needed to think clearly, move carefully, and let the truth reveal itself naturally. Connell found me sitting in the dark. Brother, what are you thinking? I'm thinking, I said slowly, that they want a war. But I'll give them something else. I'll give them silence. The next morning, I went to the market to buy food. As I walked, I heard whispers. People stared and pointed. One woman I knew well crossed the street to avoid me. It hurt deeply. My reputation was everything to me. I never drank, never womanized, never caused trouble. I worked hard, provided for my family, and helped others when I could. Now, in a few days, I was labeled a thief. A neighbor, Mr. Adeyemi, quietly called me aside. Baba Tunde, I need to show you something. He pulled out his phone and showed me WhatsApp messages. Mama Sod had been posting in community groups, telling everyone I had a secret girlfriend I spent money on. The messages were detailed and vicious. I'm showing you because I know you, Mr. Adeyemi said. This is not the Tunde I know. Someone is destroying your name on purpose. I read the messages, feeling sick. This wasn't just about the house anymore. Mama Sod wanted to completely destroy me so no one would support me. I wanted to screenshot everything, to fight back immediately. But something stopped me. Mr. Adeyemi, please keep this between us, I said. Don't tell anyone you showed me. He looked confused but nodded. I deleted his chat from my recent calls and walked away. Revenge would come, but not yet. Biodon called with urgent news. Tunde, I got the detailed report. Those withdrawals were made using Soda's own phone, authenticated with her fingerprint. But here's the thing, the statement showing the amount was definitely edited. Someone took real transactions and changed the numbers to look bigger. My heart sank. So Sod knew? She helped them. Either that, or her mother got access to her phone and did it without her knowing. But Tunde, whoever made those withdrawals wanted it to look like you. I sat down heavily. Could Sod really betray me like this? The woman who cried in my arms when we lost our first pregnancy. The woman who stood by me when I lost my job 5 years ago. What should I do? I asked Biodon. Gather everything. Bank statements, text messages, witnesses. Build your case quietly. When the time comes, present everything at once. I thanked him and ended the call. Looking at Sod's number in my phone, I whispered, "So it was you, Sod." After everything. But I didn't call her. Instead, I opened a new notebook and started documenting everything. Dates, conversations, witnesses. If they wanted to destroy me with lies, I would rebuild myself with truth. I rented a small self-contained apartment in a quiet area. It was nothing like our house, just one room with a tiny kitchen, but it was peaceful. I also found part-time work as a consultant for a construction company. The pay was small, but it kept me busy. I bought a new phone and gave the number only to Connor and a few trusted people. Sod tried calling my old number several times. I didn't answer. Mama Sod sent threatening messages. I didn't reply. My silence confused them. They expected me to beg, to cry, to cause a scene. Instead, I disappeared from their lives completely. One evening, Connor came to visit. "Brother, people are talking. They say you've given up, that you ran away." "Good," I replied calmly. "Let them think that. But your children still won't talk to you. Doesn't that hurt?" It hurt more than anything, but I couldn't let emotions control me now. "They will come back when they are ready," I said. The truth always finds a way. What I didn't tell Connor was that I was documenting everything in my notebook. Every lie Mama Sod told, every witness I found, every piece of evidence. I was building something, piece by piece. Mama Sod noticed my calmness. I heard she told Sod, "He's planning something. I can feel it." She was right. 2 months after the anniversary disaster, cracks began appearing. Sod discovered money missing from her account. When she checked, the withdrawals matched her mother's spending. She confronted Mama Sod, who brushed it off. "Stop being ungrateful. I'm your mother. What's yours is mine." But Sod wasn't stupid. She started noticing other things. Her ATM card went missing, then reappeared. Bills were paid from her account that she didn't authorize. She began questioning what her mother had told her about me. Meanwhile, Kemi, my daughter, called Connor. She had heard rumors that Mama Sod was planning to sell our house before the divorce was finalized. "Uncle Connor, is it true? Can Grandma do that?" Connor told me immediately. Legally, Sod couldn't sell the house without my consent. The property was in my name alone. But I knew Mama Sod would try anyway. I decided to wait and see how far they would go. Then, one afternoon, a letter arrived at Connor's flat. An official summons for fraud allegations. Mama Sod had reported me to the authorities, claiming I stole money from Sod's account. I read the letter carefully, then smiled. They had just made their biggest mistake. Finally, I told Connor, "It's time." The hearing took place in a small office with financial investigators present. Sod and Mama Sod sat on one side, I sat on the other with Biodon, who came as my witness. The investigator, a stern woman named Mrs. Okonkwo, asked Sod to present her evidence. Mama Sod confidently handed over the bank statement, the same one that started everything. Mrs. Okonkwo examined it carefully, then looked at me. "Sir, what do you have to say?" I reached into my folder and pulled out Biodon's official bank report. "Madam, that statement has been altered. Here is the verified report from the bank's headquarters showing the real transactions." I passed the document across. Mrs. Okonkwo read it slowly, her expression changing. She looked at Sod and Mama Sod. "Madam, this report shows that the statement you submitted was tampered with. The format is incorrect, and the amounts don't match bank records. Mama Soda's face went pale. Soda's hands started shaking. Furthermore, Mrs. Okonkwo continued, her voice hard, filing false reports is a criminal offense. Who gave you this document, Mrs. Sod? Sod opened her mouth but no words came out. I sat quietly, showing no emotion. The investigators' next words filled the room like thunder. If we find evidence of forgery, there will be consequences. Outside the office, Mama Sod grabbed Soda's arm roughly. You were careless. I told you to be smart about this. Sod pulled away, tears streaming down her face. Mama, you said you had proof. You said everything was real. Their voices carried across the parking lot. I walked past them without a word, my head high. Mama Sod tried to block my path. Tunde, we can settle this. You know how family matters are. I looked at her directly. There is nothing to settle. The truth speaks for itself. As I drove away, I saw Sod collapse against the car, sobbing. Part of me wanted to comfort her, the part that still remembered our good years. But I kept driving. That evening, Connor asked what I would do next. Are you pressing charges? No, I replied. Not yet. Let them worry. Let them fear. Sometimes the anticipation of punishment is worse than the punishment itself. My phone rang. It was Mama Sod, screaming threats and curses. I listened for a moment, then quietly ended the call. She called again. I switched off my phone. In a compound that night, according to Sister Bimp who told me later, Mama Sod was ranting and raving, throwing things. He thinks he has won, she screamed. But this is not over. The next week, I did something Mama Sod never expected. I visited the land agent who handled the property I bought for Sod. The beautiful plot in a developing area, worth millions now. Sir, I want to transfer this land, I told the agent. Transfer? To your wife's name? No, I said calmly. I want to transfer it into my foundation's name. I had been planning this for years, a small educational foundation to help children in need. I just never got around to registering it. Now was the perfect time. Are you sure, sir? This is very valuable land. I'm sure. My wife doesn't deserve it anymore. But children who want to learn do. The agent processed the papers. Within days, the land was legally transferred to the Barberton Educational Foundation, with me as the sole trustee. That same week, my phone buzzed with a message from an unknown number. Daddy, can we talk? It was Teo, my eldest son. My heart jumped. I called him immediately. Daddy, his voice was shaky, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. What changed your mind? I asked gently. People in the community groups are posting the truth. They are showing how Grandma has been lying about many things, not just about you. Word was spreading. The elders were asking questions. Some people who witnessed Mama Soda's behavior were speaking up. The wall of lies was beginning to crack. Teo came to visit my small apartment. When he saw where I was living, he broke down crying. Daddy, you're living like this because of us. Because we believed lies. I hugged him tight. My son, you heard only one side of the story. Now you're hearing the truth. That's what matters. He told me everything. Mama Sod had been poisoning them against me for months, telling them I was planning to marry another woman and abandon their mother. She showed them fake evidence, fake messages, creating a complete fiction. But Daddy, why didn't you fight? Why didn't you tell us your side? Because, I said slowly, the truth doesn't need to be forced. It reveals itself when the time is right. If I had fought and shouted, you might not have believed me. Now you see the truth with your own eyes. Teo nodded, wiping his tears. Kemi wants to talk to you too. She's been crying for days. Before he left, I warned him. Teo, more truth will come out soon. When it does, don't let it destroy your relationship with your mother completely. She's still your mother. Just remember that people make mistakes when they are influenced by others. He looked at me with new respect. Daddy, you're a better man than I thought. 2 weeks later, Mama Sod made a desperate move. She showed up at my workplace, the construction company where I consulted. The receptionist called me, confused. Sir, there's a woman here causing trouble. She's shouting your name. I came downstairs to find Mama Sod in the lobby, wrapped in her best ankara, pointing and shouting. That is the man. He stole my daughter's money. He must release it now. My manager, Mr. Folloy, came out of his office. Madam, what is the problem? This man owes my daughter. He took everything and ran away like a thief. Mr. Folloy looked at me, then back at her. Madam, do you have any proof of this debt? He knows what he did. Ask him. Mr. Folloy's voice became firm. Madam, without proof, you cannot come here and disturb our business. If you have a case, take it to court. Please leave. Mama Sod refused to move. Security had to escort her out as she screamed curses. In the office, my coworkers gathered around, concerned. I explained calmly what was happening. Mr. Folloy listened carefully. Tunde, we know you. You're honest and hardworking. Don't let this trouble you. That evening, my phone buzzed. A message from Sod. We need to talk. Urgent. I agreed to meet Sod in a public place, a small restaurant far from our neighborhood. She arrived looking tired and thin, her eyes swollen from crying. For a moment, I saw the young woman I married 20 years ago. We sat in silence for a while. Finally, she spoke. Tunde, I was wrong. My mother, she pressured me for months. She showed me documents, told me things, and I believed her. Without asking me first. I said quietly. Without giving me a chance to explain. Fresh tears rolled down her cheeks. I was confused. She's my mother. She said she was protecting me. Protecting you from what, Sod? From a man who worked 2 jobs to send our children to good schools. From a man who never raised his hand to you, never spent nights outside. She had no answer. I need you to pause the divorce, she finally said. Let's try to fix this. I looked at her for a long moment. Part of me wanted to say yes, to forgive everything and go back. But something had broken that couldn't be easily fixed. I need time to think, I said, standing up. Time. Tunde, please, I walked out of the restaurant, leaving her crying at the table. Outside, hidden in the parking lot, I saw a familiar figure watching. Mama Sod had followed her. The manipulation wasn't over. That night, according to Kemi who told me later, Mama Sod confronted Sod at home. You went to beg him. After everything I've done for you. Mama, maybe we were wrong. The bank said the statement was fake. They are all lying to protect him. He paid them. No, Mama. You lied. You've been lying about everything. For the first time, Sod stood up to her mother. 20 years of bottled frustration poured out. She accused Mama Sod of ruining her marriage, stealing her money, and manipulating her children. You abandoned us when I was young. Where were you when I struggled? Now you come back only to destroy what I built. Mama Sod slapped her. Sod slapped her back. Neighbors heard the commotion and separated them. The perfect alliance between mother and daughter was finally breaking apart. I heard about it from Connor, who heard from Sister Bimp. I felt no joy in their fighting. Only sadness. Then Connor called again with urgent news. Brother, they are trying to sell your house. I just saw an agent putting up a for sale sign. I thanked him calmly and made a phone call. The plan I had set in motion weeks ago was about to activate. Hello, Barrister Ademela. Yes, it's time. File the restriction order immediately. The next morning, Sod and Mama Sod went to the property agent with documents claiming Sod had ownership rights because of the ongoing divorce. The agent, Mr. Martins, reviewed everything carefully. Madam, I cannot process this sale. Why not? I have the right. Actually, you don't. There's a legal restriction on this property filed yesterday by the owner, Mr. Tunde. Any attempt to sell requires his written consent. Mama Soda's face turned red. Show me this restriction. Mr. Martens showed them the court order bearing my signature and my lawyer's stamp. Every legal requirement was met. The house could not be sold, rented, or transferred without my permission. He was 3 steps ahead of you, Mr. Martens said, almost sympathetically. Sod sat down heavily, the reality crashing over her. Everything Mama Sod had planned was falling apart. Her mother had promised they would get the house, sell it quickly, and split the money. Now that was impossible. As they argued in the agent's office, Sod suddenly felt dizzy. The stress, the lack of sleep, the constant fighting, it all became too much. She collapsed. Mama Sod screamed for help. An ambulance was called. As Sod was rushed to the hospital, Mama Sod finally realized she was losing control of everything. I heard about Soda's collapse from Kemi, who called me crying. I went to the hospital immediately, not because I had forgiven her, but because she was still the mother of my children. Sod was awake, lying in bed, looking fragile and broken. When she saw me, she started crying uncontrollably. Tunde, forgive me. Please forgive me. I pulled a chair close. Tell me the truth, Sod. All of it. She confessed everything. Mama Sod had forged the bank statement, but Sod helped by providing her account details and her phone. She admitted her own insecurity played a role. I thought you loved the children more than me. Mama said you were planning to leave me after Femi finished school. She said you had been building a secret life. And you believed that. After 20 years. I was stupid. I was weak. I let her manipulate me. It was painful to hear, but at least it was honest. Before I could respond, the door burst open. Mama Sod stormed in, her eyes wide. What are you telling him? Keep quiet. Soda's voice was surprisingly strong. No, Mama. I'm tired of lying. You betrayed me. After everything I did for you. The nurses came to quiet them down, but the damage was done. The truth was finally, completely out in the open. Mama Sod launched into insults, calling me every bad name she could think of. Security came to remove her, but she planted herself in the doorway. You think you've won. You think you can destroy my family and walk free. I stood up slowly, my voice quiet but clear. Mama Sod, everything you planned is about to collapse. Something in my tone made her pause. What do you mean? You'll find out soon enough. I left the hospital without another word. That evening, as Mama Sod returned to Soda's house, she found an official letter waiting. A court notice. The bank was investigating her for falsifying financial documents. This wasn't me pressing charges. This was the bank protecting its reputation. They had discovered the forged statement and were taking legal action independently. Mama Soda's hands shook as she read. Financial fraud could mean prison time. She screamed, throwing things, convinced I had orchestrated everything. Tunde did this. He's destroying me. But I hadn't. The bank acted on its own after their investigation. I simply provided the truth, and the truth had consequences. That night, Mama Sod couldn't sleep. For the first time in her life, she felt real fear. The web of lies she had spun was collapsing on top of her. The community elders called a meeting. In our culture, serious family disputes are often settled by respected elders before they reach court. The meeting was held at the community hall. I arrived quietly with Colonel. Sod came alone. Mama Sod refused to attend at first, but the elders sent a strong message that she must. When she finally arrived, the room was packed. Neighbors, family members, people who had heard different versions of the story. Chief Adiwole, the eldest, spoke first. We have heard many things. Accusations of theft, fraud, family destruction. Today, we will hear the truth. I presented everything calmly. The verified bank reports, the evidence of the forged statement, testimonies from witnesses. Mama Soda's lies about me having a girlfriend were exposed. Her debt problems were revealed. The elders listened carefully, asking questions, examining documents. When Mama Sod tried to interrupt with more accusations, Chief Adewale silenced her. Madam, you have manipulated this family. You have lied to the community. You have tried to destroy a good man's reputation for your own gain. She tried to defend herself, but the evidence was overwhelming. Even Sod testified against her, admitting her mother's manipulation. The elders were harsh in their judgment. Mama Sod, you are a disgrace to motherhood. Chief Adewale finally turned to me. Baba Tunde, these people have wronged you terribly. What punishment do you seek? Everyone waited for my answer. I could ask for anything: public disgrace, banishment, compensation. Instead, I spoke softly. Chief, I seek no punishment. Their consequences will teach them more than any punishment I could request. The room murmured in surprise. However, I continued, I have something to show everyone. I pulled out documents from my folder. 6 months ago, I bought land in a developing area. I planned to surprise my wife with it on our anniversary, to secure our future. Sod gasped, covering her mouth. But circumstances changed. That land is now worth significant money. This morning, I completed the legal transfer of that land into a community scholarship foundation in my name. I showed the documents. The Baba Tunde Educational Foundation will provide scholarships for children who cannot afford school fees. This land will be sold, and the money will help dozens of children every year. The elders nodded approvingly. Chief Adewale smiled. This is wisdom. Mama Soda's face crumbled. She realized what she had cost her daughter, a valuable piece of land that would have secured Soda's future. Instead, it would help strangers. I will no longer invest in people who throw me away, I said firmly. But I will invest in children who want to learn. The applause from the community was spontaneous and loud. The weeks following the community judgment were difficult for Mama Sod and Sod. News spread quickly. Soda's school administration heard about the investigation and the forged documents. They suspended her pending their own inquiry. Without her teaching salary, Sod struggled to pay bills. Mama Soda's situation was worse. Her creditors, hearing she had no money coming from the divorce, began demanding payment. Some were not gentle. They came to the house daily, threatening and harassing. The woman who had been so proud and loud was now hiding from debt collectors. One evening, my phone rang. It was Sod. Tunde, please. I need help. The creditors are threatening to take everything. Everything. You mean the house that's in my name? There was silence. I know I don't deserve your help, but please. For the children's sake. Before I could answer, another voice came on the phone. Mama Sod. She was crying, actually crying. Baba Tunde, you are the only real man in this family. Please, help us. I was wrong. I was wicked. Please. It was surreal hearing this woman who had tried to destroy me now begging. Part of me felt vindication. Another part just felt tired. I will not fight you, I said clearly. But I will not save you either. You made your choices. Now live with them. I ended the call. Colonel, who overheard, looked at me. Brother, was that too harsh? No, I replied. It was honest. The divorce was finalized 3 months later. Unlike the original plan, it was on my terms. I kept the house, all properties registered in my name, and my peace of mind. Sod received only what the law required, a small settlement that she immediately used to pay her mother's debts. She moved to a smaller apartment in a cheaper area. As part of the divorce agreement, custody of Femi, our youngest who was 19, was his choice. He chose to stay with me. So did Kemi and Teo. All 3 of my children moved into the family house with me. It surprised many people, but not me. Children know which parent truly cared for them. Sod cried when they told her, but she understood. Take care of them, she told me quietly on our last meeting at the lawyer's office. I always have, I replied. Mama Sod disappeared from Lagos entirely. Word was she returned to her village, broken and humbled. The proud woman who had strutted into that anniversary dinner with such confidence was now avoiding everyone who knew her story. I felt no joy in her downfall. But I felt no guilt either. She had crafted her own destruction. So tried to rebuild her life, but the damage was deep. The community remembered what she did. Some forgave her, many didn't. I remained cordial but distant when she visited the children. Our marriage was truly over. 6 months after the divorce, I stood before a small crowd at the community center. My children were beside me, smiling proudly. Chief Adewale and other elders sat in the front row. We were inaugurating the Barberton Educational Foundation. The land had been sold, and the money would fund scholarships for 5 children immediately. When people tried to destroy me with lies, I said to the audience, I made a choice. I could fight with anger, or respond with dignity. I chose dignity. Parents whose children would receive scholarships wiped tears of joy. Teachers from local schools came to support. This foundation is not revenge, I continued. It's redemption. They tried to take everything from me, my reputation, my family, my peace. But they couldn't take my purpose. I looked at my children. These young people will tell you that the truth always wins. Not immediately, not loudly, but definitely. As the ceremony ended and people congratulated me, I saw 2 figures standing far away near the gate. Sod and Mama Sod, watching from a distance. They didn't come closer. They couldn't. We made eye contact briefly. Sod looked sad. Mama Sod looked broken. They turned and walked away slowly, 2 women who had gambled everything on a lie and lost. I felt no triumph. Only peace. They tried to shatter my family with one lie. But the truth rebuilt my life stronger than before.